everyone. My name is Raquel Klein, and today I will be explaining the topics that I found most interesting and important regarding to mental health. Now, one of the reoccurring and biggest questions of abnormal psychology is, what is abnormal and who gets to decide? Abnormality can be defined in many ways. This can include what social norms are of that generation defining it, or what culture is involved. An example is hundreds of years ago, unmarried pregnant women would be seen as a sign of mental illness, and they would be institutionalized. How crazy! Whereas today that would be seen as completely normal. That example is the reason why we need the DSM, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Due to the consistent, ever occurring changes that continue to happen over the years. Now, moreover, that is why there have been 5 editions over the last couple of decades. New generations and new times bring different problems to the table. One of these problems is internet gaming disorder. Have you guys seen changes in young boys from the 1990s till now? Well, I do. One of the biggest changes is the way they spend their time. In the 1990s, their activities consisted of creativity and imagination playing outside, and maybe a video game or two, but they weren't very in reach. And so, more so than not, kids were being forced to play with each other or toys or something else. Now, whereas today, majority of the time is consumed by virtual reality. Video games has led to internet gaming disorder. Now, this has become fairly common and will continue to increase as technology becomes more advanced and realistic. Now, another fairly common disorder I wanted to take time talking about is post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD can vary in severity and can be caused by various things. The things we see on the news, like school shootings or the Las Vegas shooting, now those victims are going to struggle with the trauma that has occurred to them and the memories forever. Now, the difference on how one victim will handle it from the next is due to exposure from anxiety and stress in their early lives. So depending on what kind of childhood will also be a factor in how they go on dealing with the anxiety and the trauma of an event. Now, another thing I'd like to share, because it is something I wasn't aware of before this class, is what intersex and transsexuality really entails. I always thought transsexuality or gender identity was a choice, but it's not. Imagine your body telling you one thing and your mind or your gender identity and your hypothalamus telling you the complete polar opposite. How compelled or how out of place would you feel? Trying to find where you belong is already hard enough in this world without having to decide what gender you are, what gender you're attracted to. We all need to be patient, and we need them to have the support that they can get. As a society, we need to be understanding that these things happen to people when they are born, and it is up to us as friends, family, or professional care to help them make the next best possible decision. Now, this doesn't just apply to PTSD, it applies to all disorders. Our bodies are made up of different genes and chromosomes, and each and every one of us is unique in our own ways. It is okay to be different. It is okay to be abnormal. As a society, we need to continue to grow and be more understanding of all these psychological disorders, not only to help people around us to get diagnosed, but to not be so judging when you're out in public and you see someone having an episode. Instead of laughing or pointing fingers, you can realize what they're actually going through. I hope now that I've been able to tell you a brief outline on mental health, you will be able to continue to learn more about disorders and have a better awareness towards society as a whole. I'd like to thank you for your time.